Hi, today I'm going to be talking about one of the cases from our Chapter 5 of our textbook. And the case that I've chosen to talk about is scenario number 4, called Exceptional Client Service. And in this presentation, we're going to be talking about the facts of the case, the question that the accountant faces, and the possible solutions. So in this case, there was a senior accountant who was working on an audit for a very important client. This client was so important to one of the partners that he instructed the audit team to provide this client with exceptional client service. So one day the audit manager came to the senior accountant and asked him to prepare the federal tax return. And a large part of preparing this tax return was evaluating their inventory and figuring out which valuation system was best, either FIFO or LIFO. This was something new to this accountant. He had never done it before, so he asked his audit manager for help. So the audit manager said that he would walk him through the process and set it all up for him. And the way that they were going to calculate this was by taking a statistical sample of 1,000 different samples and then finding which one was the best option. So the audit manager said, "I'll set this up for you so that it runs 1,000 samples, and that's their statistical software. You can then pick the sample that is most advantageous to our client's tax position and use that for the tax return." The accountant was hesitant because he didn't know if this sounded completely ethical or not, and the audit manager noticed this and said, "Just remember, we're supposed to provide this client with the best client service, and this is how we're going to do that." So the accountant faced some questions. What should he do in this situation? And of the options, what is the best course of action? And he thought of 4 possible solutions. The first one was that he could do nothing. This was the audit manager. He's the one who's experienced with doing this procedure. So who is he to question it? He can just do it, and then if it comes to light that this was not the right decision, hopefully the audit manager will take the blame. And then there's option 2. He could step away from this project so that he is not related to it at all. Could come up with an excuse such as he's not experienced enough to provide the best service. We should have someone who is experienced with this valuation to take over, and that way he would not be involved in any kind of fraudulent activity. The third option he thought of was to go and talk to the managing partner and explain that, this may be not the best decision, because yes, we are trying to provide the best service for our client, but what if it's caught and it is fraudulent and they're hit with many fines and penalties for not paying the appropriate tax? And it could also really hurt the firm's reputation if this came out. That could hinder many client relationships, not just with this one client. So that's a big thing to think about as well. And option 4 was maybe not go so far as to talk to the managing partner, but just go talk to the head of the firm's tax department and get his opinion on this type of procedure and whether it's ethical or not. Then if the head of the department deems it unethical, it would be his responsibility to go and talk to the audit manager. So the responsibility would not be with him any longer. At the end of the day, the best decision would be to talk to the managing partner. That is the most ethical thing to do. It would not be ethical to just go along with it because he has questions about it. You should not do something that you feel questionable about. And the second option is also not good, because as an accountant, we have a responsibility to make sure that accounting work is done appropriately, whether we are the ones actually performing the work or not. So as an accountant, if he went with option 2, which would be to just get someone else to do it and for him to walk away, that would also not be a good choice. So yes, he should, in conclusion, the accounting manager should go talk to the managing partner and get this fixed as quickly as possible.